Hello everyone, I welcome you all for lecture 4 of module 4. Today we'll discuss about water user association or water users associations. Water user association WUA is a group of water users such as irrigators who pool their financial, technical, material and human resources for the operation and maintenance of a water system. We can define users association as a water user association is a cooperative association of individual water users who wish to undertake water related activities for their mutual benefit. Water user association is a non-profit organization that is initiated and managed by the group of water users along one or more hydrological subsystems, regardless of the types and forms involved. The water user association should be established as a legal entity, hence, there should be a law authorizing its establishment. This law could be a general comprehensive water law that deals with all aspects related to water, including establishment of water user associations. There are some laws uh, made by the association, right? A law or a regulation or rules made by the association to control the actions of its own members. We call it as bylaws. We'll see various bylaws of water user associations. The first one, basic facts about the water user association and objectives of the water user association clearly mentioned. Criteria for becoming a member of water user association also should be very clear. Number of farmers required for establishment of water user association. The water user association as a legal entity. Structural organization and internal management. In that connection, the discussion in a bylaws. Operation maintenance of water resource association and various activity should be clearly uh, mentioned to the members and other governing bodies of water resource association. Water charge, the price for the water by the members, what is the amount, and decision on the charging the price for water depends on different types of crops like food and others. Rights and obligation of members for the settlement of that, there should be law in a that should be mentioned in the bylaw. Interpreting and amending the bylaws to clear the the rules and regulation of the bylaws to the members, and liquidation of the water user association, and after certain years to dissolve the association, what are the rules, how to dissolve, that also should be mentioned in the bylaw. Establishment of a federation of water associations. These are all various bylaws in a water resource association. Now we'll discuss about a role of water allocation. The There should be a legal framework for water allocation to solve the conflicts between different users as well as different states, right? We'll talk about water allocation. What is water allocation? Water allocation is the process of sharing a limited natural resource between different regions and competing users. It's a process made necessary when the natural distribution and availability of water fails to meet the needs of all water users in terms of quantity, quality, timing, and availability. In simple terms, it is the mechanism for determining who can take water, how much they can take, from which location, when, and for what purpose. All these things should be clearly mentioned. In, there are 10 golden rules for basin water allocation. The rule 1: in basins where water is becoming stressed, it is important to link allocation planning to broader social, environmental, and economic development planning. Rule 2: successful basin allocation process depend on the existence of adequate institutional capacity. Rule 3: the degree of complexity in an allocation plan should reflect the complexity and challenges in the basin. Rule 4: considerable care is considered in defining the amount of water available for allocation. Rule 5: environmental water need is a foundation on which basin allocation planning should be built. Rule 6: the water needs of certain priority purposes should be met before water is allocated among other uses. Rule 7: in stressed basins, water efficiency assessments and objectives should be developed in or alongside of the allocation plan. Rule 8: allocation plans need to have a clear and equitable approach for addressing variability between years. Rule 9: allocation plans need to incorporate flexibility in recognition of uncertainty over the medium to long term. Rule 10: a clear process is required for converting regional watersheds into local and individual water entitlements and for clearly defining annual allocations. With this, we complete our lecture 4 of module 4. Thank you.